So, just 2 seconds. Hey, ciao. Allora, ho preso la bici, ma ho lasciato la macchina lassù, quindi quando ho finito qua, se mi puoi dare un passaggio su, così torno con la macchina. Ok. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's just see. That should work. So, just 2 seconds. Ciao. Allora, ho preso la bici. Okay. Right. So I can get rid of that now. Okay. Got it. Okay. Right. So it seems to be so it seems to be streaming anyway. So so what do you want to talk about, Christina? Did you, can I just ask you, did you do the C1 exam, C1 certification?
I did it during the COVID situation. So it was terrible, really terrible, because first I booked it during February, on February 2020, I think, in Milan. But just 2 weeks before my test, it was impossible to move from another region. So I decided to do the exam in Padua.
Okay.
In April, but when we were nearly the date, there was another law which forbid.
Yeah, which forbade.
Forbade to move to between, another town.
Yeah, between towns. Yes.
So it was terrible. It seems like I was always following the test.
So what did you do?
In the end, after I can't remember how many weeks to where I booked a date, then it happened something which made me impossible to do it.
Okay, so which stopped you from doing it? Okay.
Yes, it stopped me from doing it. At the end, I did it in September during a school day, so it was terrible. I had a school meeting, which was obliged.
It was not obligatory. It was obligatory.
And nearly at the same time, I did the test. So it was something impossible. Online test. And for me, it lasted 5 hours. Because we had problems with the connections, and we were 4 people, but I did it with Oxford, but Oxford of Caserta. It was online. I didn't know the town, but it was an English teacher, very good English teacher. But we had problems because we were 4 people, and before each kind of exercise, the teacher wanted that we move all the camera around. He wanted to control everything.
Yeah, to check everything.
Check everything. So we spent a lot of time doing it. And when we had the exercise, I was already exhausted. So I couldn't eat anything, just drink water, nothing else. but I really had some problems with my energy. I'm a person who need to eat almost every 2 hours, 3 hours, something. You know?
Something, yeah. I'm like that too. I need a bit. It doesn't need to be very much, a cracker or something.
It's another person.
Another person, yeah.
So for me, it was like a sort of sacrifice.
Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah.
Yes, because in the end, the speaking part was the worst because I was too tired. I need energy. I need proteins, vitamins, something. Was like to faint. Is it correct? To faint?
To faint. Yeah, you felt like you felt faint. Yes, to faint.
Hello, Sandra.
Hi, Sandra.
Hello. Sorry, I'm late because I had a meeting at school.
It's okay.
Sorry.
We were just wondering whether we were going to see more, whether there was just going to be me and Christina this week, because last week there were only 3 of us, I think.
Yeah, sorry. Last week I couldn't really come. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's the time. It's that time of year. It's just getting it's getting a bit late, and unfortunately, we've had to move a couple of lessons because of problems. So we'll be going until, I think the last one is probably the 1st of June.
1st of June,
which is a Wednesday. Okay, so next week we'll have a lesson, and the 1st of June, because there are 2 which we need. Today should have been the last one. There are 2 lessons which need to be recovered. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So Christina, actually, I've got a question for you. Last time there was a lady joined, and she said that she couldn't find the videos. Were you able to find the link? Because I know
after the meeting, I've found it immediately. So now I'm looking for it.
Yeah, because I was going to say, could you put it on the chat for me, because I have the devil's own job finding these things. I don't know what it is that I'm looking for, but let me because I just need to, and I will save it on my desktop. Although it's objectively speaking, it is a little bit. It is a little bit late, but so, Sandra, how are you doing?
Another question, please. No, I'm waiting for the end of the lessons.
Yeah. The end of the school year.
Yes, at the end of the school. Yes. So. Lots to do. Lots of boring meetings, and I don't really know how useful they are.
Yeah, it just seems sort of rather. Everyone says this, and so I wonder why. Why this situation is so, because everyone seems to be in the same situation. Thank you very much. I can see this now, and I will just copy this and put it in my notepad here. Okay, so file, save as, on the desktop. So can I just ask, what day is the last day of school?
I think the 8th of June.
The 8th of June, okay, which is a Friday.
Sandra, I have stuck for you a link if you want to fill it for the participation.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Thank you.
And the other link, Gordon, I use it to join immediately, to go directly to the video. I decided to copy it, but I'm not sure if there is another link. I use that.
Okay, no, it's okay. I'm just checking. Okay, now let's see on maybe. Okay. Okay, I can't. I'll tell you what, I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what I can see. Okay, so just bear with me 2 seconds. Share screen. Okay. Now this is the link that this is where I came to on the link. Okay. But I can't see where I'm supposed to go here.
If I use that link, I have the opportunity to see another window with all the picture about the beginning of your recording lessons. It's different from you.
How strange. How strange.
Yes,
because
that's strange. But probably because you are inside now the meeting. So probably now you are recording.
I'll tell you what, I'll try it in another browser.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. So just bear with me 2 seconds. See if this works in another browser. No, not the same thing. How strange. I'll tell you what, can I ask you a favor? Can I ask you a favor? I'm going to exit from sharing. Can I ask you to share can you open the thing and can you share the screen, Christina, please? Because I honestly have got no idea.
But have I the opportunity to share my screen?
Yeah, I can let you.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I can let you share.
Let me see. And what have I to choose?
Okay, if you can open the page where you say you've got the list.
Okay. Yes. Now I know how to do it.
Have a look at see if.
Give me just a few seconds. Okay.
Excuse me. It's that time of year.
Can you see it?
Yes.
That's the beginning of your lessons. So you can just click here and you can see the recording lessons. And you can, if you can see, that goes till, I think, the 19th of May.
Yeah, which is today. Yeah, you will notice that these lessons have titles, but
yes,
it's clear that we're not.
If you want, I can click on the 5th of May.
No, it's okay. No, I'm just looking at what you've got there, and it is the link that you sent me. But I honestly do not know
because I always use that link because in the past I had a lot of troubles to watch the recorded lessons.
Okay.
So I look for them for much time, long time, and in the end, I copy this link.
Okay, right. I've just realized something. It may be something to do with the web page, or it may be something to do with my computer. I'm not sure, because I can see the background and what what I see is the image. What I see on the thing that I showed you is the image of the background, but it doesn't show the video. So I suspect that there's something to do with the maybe the loading of the page isn't quite complete. So that could be something either to do with my browser. But it's strange because I've tried in 2 different browsers, and even Chrome didn't like it. So I'll try again. Okay, no, that's okay. Right. Okay. I'll tell you what. Since we are here and we are doing something, what we could do is have a look at the. We can have a look at the passive, if that's okay, because I think the passive is something that you need to, or that you come across a bit more at this level, I think. Is that, would you agree with that, Christina? Yeah. So I'll tell you what, let me just see if I can share screen. Now, what am I going to share? I'm going to share this. So share this. Okay, right. Okay. Okay. So if you can see my screen, what you can see is that there's this sort of, I suppose it's like a question, but if we think about it, when do we use the passive? And I think the thing here is that it really does depend on the context. And one thing I've noticed is that if you use word checking programs, document checking programs, if you use word processors like Word or whatever, and if you use things like Grammarly to check documents, almost always, if you put a passive in, it will find it and tell you that you're not writing correctly. And that may be true in the context that you're writing in, but it may also be completely wrong, because if you're writing a report, and if you're writing a technical report in particular, or if you're writing a report which is in you're talking about how something is done, what other people have done. So let's say there's a distance between you and the subject material. You may actually need to use the passive. Okay, so I think it's clear here that you'd find it mostly in, or most commonly in technical writing, certainly, but also in report writing. Okay. Why? What's the thing about the passive that makes it particularly adapted to these uses, do you think?
Is it more formal?
It's certainly more formal. It certainly is formal. But I think it's something else, actually. It's more to do with its objective. Yeah, it's sort of, because it's not I did this or we did that or do this, do that. Okay, it's more like it's more like there's a distance between you and the action, and so it becomes more like an objective thing rather than something which is more personalized, I think. So I'm assuming that you guys will know this. This is the form, let's say, in all of the different possible versions. Some of them are a bit more common, let's say, than others. Okay, so typically report writing is this one. This was done, that was done. It's relatively straightforward, I think. If you like, what I can do, I'll send this, I'll put this set of slides on the chat again, if they're not already there. Okay. Okay. You should find them. You should find it in here. I think it's this one. Yes. Maybe it's. Hold on. No, maybe it's this one. No. Just 1 second. Because the thing is with Adobe, it doesn't tell me. Yeah. Okay. It is this one. Okay. This is the next part of this one. Okay. So I don't know. I think. Oops. No. I don't know what it's doing there. It's decided that it wants to do something that I don't want it to do. Okay. Yeah, so it's just the usual thing. You've got the auxiliary in between the object and the subject, and you're just putting it in with this the form. A cake is made. A cake is being made. A cake was made. Okay, so obviously you've just got the various possibilities as you get more complex tenses. So the present perfect continuous, past perfect, future simple, future perfect. So this is the general, let's say, the general structure of the thing. So a couple of comments here from a couple of textbooks, which, according to the country that you're in, you get different, slightly different versions. But this is from the from a business English book, C1 level. Usually, learners are continuing to develop the use of the passive, particularly in more formal or academic contexts, okay? So typically being able to use the present continuous passive negative form to refer to ongoing situations in the present, this type of thing. So, for example, this is a nice example, in my opinion, okay? So the story is not being promoted enough. So this is actually a nice construction because it's useful to try and remember that. In my opinion, something is not happening. Yeah, that's let's say very, very generic or general things. I'll put that on the chat. Something. Okay, and in this very general form, the something is whatever you want. You would change. You would replace happening with the verb that you need. Okay, so I don't know whether you can sort of on the spot, whether you can come up with an example or two for yourselves. That might be useful. I don't know whether you can. It is a bit difficult on the spot, I know, but. Got any ideas, Christina? You think? Microphone.
In my opinion, the war is not going to a good or an early solution.
Okay, yeah. It's not going towards an early solution. Yes. Okay. Yeah, in my opinion, the weather is not getting any better. Sandra, have you got any ideas? Do you want to try or?
Yes, I was thinking when you said that the weather is not getting any better, is it passive or no?
Yes, it is. No, it is. It is passive. Yeah, the weather is not getting any better.
The weather is not getting any better. And the first sentence that Christina said, the war.
She said, in my opinion, the war.
Christina, can you repeat, please? The war? The war is not going to an early solution.
Is not going to have an early solution.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, it's not going towards an early solution. I think you said.
It's not going
towards an early solution.
Towards an early solution. I wanted to say something with school, but I can't find. I wanted to say, in my opinion, the school is not being, and I wanted to say like doesn't have any value. I wanted to say something like,
the school is not being valued enough.
Valued enough.
Is that okay?
Valued enough. Is it passive?
Yeah, the school is not being valued
enough.
Okay, so there is a bit of a doubt here, but if you think about it, the straight, let's say the straightforward thing is the school is not valued.
Is not valued.
That's still passive. Actually, the school is not. So the straightforward thing will be the school has no value. School has no value. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. This stuff is a bit slippery. If you and even even for a native speaker, it can be a little bit confusing. But if you think of it straight, the school has no value. Okay. Therefore, the school is not being valued.
Is not being valued.
Or we can add the school is not valued by politicians.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Apart from the election time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure whether we're allowed to say anything like that, but anyway, it's absolutely true. Okay, C1 learners also use the passive with it. This is useful one to remember, because this is the thing which makes the difference between let's say a more native speaker type of use of the passive. So the it is a dummy subject. So to summarize or evaluate in discussions, usually in formal or academic writing. So the example here is, to sum up, it can be concluded that this report is attempted, so blah, 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 okay? This is the part, okay? So to sum up, it can be concluded. The alternative is the direct, we conclude. Yeah, we conclude, or, well, there's only one way of doing it. You have to put a subject there. So in addition, it has been found, this is a classic, okay? It has been found that some products were difficult to find. It has been found that German is difficult to learn, for example. Okay, so this is a very, I think this is well worth remembering, making a note of. It has been found. It has been found that 9 out of 10 cats prefer eating fish. Or prefer fish. Yeah. Compared to cabbage. Okay. can you think of maybe come up with an example? I'll give you a little while a couple of seconds to think about this. Can you think of an example for this?
Some days ago, I went to the mechanic for my car.
The mechanic.
For my car. And we discussed a lot about how to solve the problem. And we found some new things due to the European situation, and especially due to the war. In addition, it has been found that some car products or some car parts were difficult to find during this period. So
it's been are difficult to find.
Difficult to find, yes, for present. And probably I had to wait some months to have the parts repaid.
Okay, right. So you need to think about your tenses here. So you don't, it's not that you had to wait. This is future, isn't it? So you will have to wait.
I will have to wait
for
some months.
Some time for
for having my car parts repaired. Because they have to import from abroad, and there is a long queue. And clients have to wait for it.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that, because I had exactly the same conversation yesterday with the mechanic who changed the gomista, the guy who changed my tires. He was complaining exactly the same thing. He was saying that there are all sorts of sort of strange, let's say, knock-on effects of parts missing, or which you would never have thought of, and some of it's to do with the situation in Ukraine. Some of it's to do with broader situations which were already happening anyway. To do with supply of computer chips and things like that. So it's it's true. Christina, have you managed to come up with an example?
It can be said we are almost at the end of the month. Very easy one.
Yeah. It can be said. Yeah, it can be concluded. It can be found. These are all fine. Okay. Right, so C1 level learners can now use the passive non-finite ing form as a subordinate clause or a noun clause to give explanatory background information. Okay, so that's this first part here. Being born and raised in Mexico, I believe her to be this country's best representative to the world. Okay. So it's referring to this lady, whoever she is, but this is the form being. Saying that we should be careful, saying that he believes that, whatever. Being overworked and badly paid, being invited by your boss for an unexpected lunch makes you feel noticed. That's a strange one. From Cambridge Advanced English for Portuguese speakers. Okay, but this is the form. Being, and you can imagine seeing, feeling, whatever. Yeah. Okay, right. Okay, so I've got there's some examples here for the passive. So can you work out a passive form for these sentences? So I'll give you a few minutes for this, since there are 5 of them. Okay, right. How are you doing? You ready? Yeah. Okay.
More or less, yes.
Sorry.
More or less.
More or less, yeah.
I've done it, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, this stuff is a bit slippy, actually. So, okay. What did you think? What do you think about number one? Sandra, you got anything?
This YouTube clip has been watched by over 1 million of people.
1 million people.
1 million people. Yes, has been watched.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, Christina.
So we made the film over 20 years ago, and the film was made over 20 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. That's fairly straightforward. Okay. Good. Sandra.
I wrote anything like that had been seen by no one at the time. I don't know. Anything like that.
Okay, yeah, this one's a bit tricky. This one.
I don't know. I had been seen. I don't know. If
okay, had been seen is fine. Nothing like that had been seen by anyone at the time. Okay, this one is a bit slippy. So nothing like that had been seen by anyone at that time.
Nothing like that had been seen
by anyone.
Anyone
at that time. So you see. Go.
Sorry, I have a written down. It had been seen by anyone. So it.
No. These ones are a bit sort of complicated because you have to change no one into anyone and anything into nothing. Yeah. These ones are right. Okay, what about the next one? What about number 4? Either of you?
Apparently, they are making a new version of the film at the moment. A new version of the film is being made
at the moment.
Yeah. At the moment.
Yeah, and you could say apparently a new version of the film is being made at the moment. Okay. What about the last one?
I wrote, it is going to be released next year.
Yeah. They are going to release it next year. It is going to be released next year. Fine. Okay, I'll tell you what. Now, what have we got here? Oh yes. Okay, yeah. This is just a summary of the passive. So this is some examples, but we've already. I don't know whether we need to go through this. We've sort of seen this before, but you might use it in the following cases because the thing is that sometimes. Sometimes it's this thing about spell check programs or grammar check programs will say not to use it, but stylistically that may be a situation which is not it's not good or it's not useful. So so if you have a situation where you don't know who did something. So the cave paintings of Lascaux were made in the Upper Old Stone Age. Fine, okay. We don't care who did this or who is doing it. So an experimental solar plant will be built. Okay, we don't care who's doing it. This is a typical politician type of phrase. Mistakes were made. Okay, you're not pointing at anyone in particular. Okay, something which is considered general truth. So rules are made to be broken, okay, by whomever, whenever, okay. You want to emphasize, this isn't a useful one. You want to emphasize either a person or a thing which has been acted on. So insulin was first discovered in 1921, okay. Archduke Ferdinand was assassinated by Gavro Princip in whenever, okay. So you're emphasizing a person or a thing which was acted upon. And then, well, this is classic for science, which is the stuff was dissolved in water and then was stirred for 3 hours, whatever. Okay, so this is a classic, but you're probably not going to come across that. Okay, so I'll tell you what, I'm going to, have you got any questions about the passive? It's just a question, I think it's just a question of finding some examples.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
But speaking in general about English people, do they use a lot passive form, apart from newspapers or scientific texts, but when they normally speak? Yeah.
I think it depends who you're speaking to, I think. It depends on the context. So things like, for example, you will hear people engaged in, like, let's say, political debate or discussion, sort of using things like "it's been found," "it's been said." You know, it's those. If you can imagine the situation in which you would say the equivalent in Italian. Yeah, so it's one of these forms which doesn't necessarily come out in conversation all day, every day, but it does get used in certain situations. So it's not an esoteric thing that if you don't do science, you won't ever come across it. Particularly, let me just sort of, particularly for this type of construction. Yeah, in my opinion, that oven hasn't been cleaned properly. Yeah, okay, and that could be, why does the oven smell? Yeah, so it could be. Well, if you ask me, okay, and this is, so in my opinion now, a more colloquial way of saying that would be, if you ask me, it may, if you ask me, it hasn't been cleaned. Yeah. Yeah. Why is the water running out of the shower slowly? If you ask me, it hasn't been cleaned for a while. The drain is blocked. Yeah. So you do find it. It's not necessarily a rare thing. Okay. That was the other one was, okay. Yeah. Yeah. This is another way, another fairly common example. So yes, it does get used.
Could I ask you just one thing about if I want to say be invited and I want to make it in the past, do I say having been invited?
Right, okay. Again, this depends on what you want to say. You need to finish the phrase. So having been invited to the party, I took advantage of the champagne bottle. Okay. Yeah, or having been invited to the party for free or whatever. Yeah. So yes, you can use it like that. Having already paid for this machine, or for this car, or for this ticket, I am definitely going to use it. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Being invited. So in the first sentence you use having been invited, and then in the second sentence you use past, simple past. I took advantage of the champagne.
Yeah.
And then if you say being invited, in the second sentence you use present. Yeah.
Okay. So having been invited to the party, I took advantage of the free champagne. Okay. So that's because that's something that happened in the past. Having been.
Having been invited, I took advantage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
that's all happening in the past.
And then if I say being invited, I take advantage.
Yes, but I'm not sure whether you would logically use that construction. It depends what you're saying. Being invited to the party. Okay. Invited to the party gives you. Being invited to the party gives you access to free champagne. Yeah, does that work? I'm getting the approval of Christina.
Sorry.
These things are remarkably slippy to invent at the moment.
I was thinking, being invited to the party, you have the opportunity to taste the free champagne.
Yes, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, that's okay. Right. We're just going to close that one. Oh no. And why is this? Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. I've got some different stuff here. So we've sort of had a look at the passive thing. Yeah. I wanted to have a look at this, which is a little bit of vocabulary stuff. These are sort of like word plays where you have to find the different forms of the word, noun, verb, adjective, adverb. Some of them have all forms, some of them don't. Okay, so I'll leave you with the exercise for a few minutes to see what you make of it. Okay. No. Alle 7:30. Okay, how you doing? Okay, nice. Okay. I'll let you give you a bit more time. It's okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, right. Let's just have a look. So, just. Okay, right. So, what have we got? So, if we look at the first one, Christina.
Well, I'm not sure, but I think yes, I think that the noun could be diversion. Oh, I'm sorry. Difference.
Difference.
The difference.
Yes. Yeah.
Difference.
Yeah. I'll put this on the chat. Okay. So that's
Difference.
the noun. What would you say for the verb?
To differ.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds reasonable. What about the second one, Sandra? What do you think?
Yeah. Could I just ask the first one?
Yeah.
Can you say diversity?
No, because they're two different words.
Okay.
Okay. Probably
another meaning. Very very. The difference is very very thin, very thin, but they are not the same.
No, definitely not. Okay.
I wrote noun. I wrote finance.
Yeah. Okay. Finance. Okay.
The verb I don't know the verb. The verb I couldn't find it.
Christina?
I was thinking about to finance.
Yeah, to finance something.
Same like the noun.
Yeah, exactly. Adjective, financial. Adverb,
financially.
Yeah. Okay. Now I looked at this one, and this one I have to say that this one caused me a little bit of thinking. So, what have you got?
The verb could be to respond.
No, sorry. I'm looking at number 3. So it's systematically. No. It's okay. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Respondent. Okay. So, and then we'll go back to number 3. So to respond. Yeah, that sounds okay. Respond. Okay. Adjective.
Could it be responded? Too easy.
Responsive. Something is responsive. And so the adverb would be responsively.
Responsive.
Okay.
Responsively.
Okay, what about number 3 though?
System.
Okay, yeah. System would work as a noun.
Systematic.
Systematic would be the adjective.
Yes. And the verb, I don't know.
The only word that I could think of here would be systematize.
Wow.
But I wouldn't expect to come across that unless we're talking particular forms of, let's say, engineering or business English or something like that. Okay. What about exclude? What about the next one?
Allora, an exclusion, the noun. To exclude the verb, could be exclusive, the adjective.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, exclusive. And the adverb is exclusively.
Yes. Yeah, I think once you've got the adjective, the adverb tends to follow prevalently. Okay. What about the next one? Frequent.
The noun could be the infrequence.
Frequence or infrequence, yes.
Yes,
it could be either.
Frequence.
You get one, you buy one and you get one free here. What about the verb?
I was thinking about too infrequent. I don't know.
Too frequent.
Okay, right. So looking at how this works in terms of meanings, okay? So if you think about frequency, it's how many times something happens, yeah? So if we're thinking in those terms, adjective frequent or infrequent makes sense, yes? So something happens a lot or something doesn't happen a lot. And therefore the adverb would be frequently or infrequently, yeah? But I'm looking at the verb now. And if I'm thinking about how often or how much something happens, I can only use to be frequent. But there is a verb to frequent, which is
where you move the accent.
Yeah, exactly.
And moving the accent, it changes the meaning.
It changes the meaning, yes. So to be frequent is, or to be infrequent is, would be the verb associated with this, how often something happens. But to frequent, and at that point, actually, in that case, you don't really have a correspondence for a noun because you wouldn't use frequency. Yeah. Actually, yeah, the noun would be, sorry, the noun would be frequency. The noun would be frequency, but you wouldn't use it in this for that meaning. Okay. So this one is a little bit tricky, I think. So what about the next one? Prevalent.
The prevalence.
Mm-hmm.
To prevail
means something completely different. The only thing, again, it would be to be prevalent. That's the only thing I can think of. I can't think of a simple, because to prevail is to overcome something, is to win something. Okay, you prevail against the odds. Yeah, and even then it's spelt differently. So prevalent, to be prevalent, prevalence, I think.
Oh, sorry, what does it mean to be prevalent?
It's when there's more
you
of something.
Overcome another person.
Okay, no, that's to prevail. That's to prevail.
Okay.
To be prevalent means that there's more of something. It's common. Okay. Yeah.
For instance, when you use a percentage.
Yeah, it's that type of thing. So you could say that brown is the prevalent eye color in Italy, for example. Yeah.
Thank you.
These things are a bit, again, they're a bit slippy. Attribute.
The attribution
is
the noun. To attribute is the verb, of course. And the adjective attributed, no? I don't know.
Attribution. Attributes. Attribute. No.
Attribute the noun. To attribute the verb.
Okay,
attribute.
No, attribution is the noun.
Attribution. Okay.
The attribute is the verb. The adjective. The adjective. I can't think of this one.
Couldn't I use the past participle? Attributed?
Yes. No? Yeah, I think so. Let's check. Attributive. Attributive.
And what about attributional? I was thinking to have heard something about it.
Yeah. Attributable, something that's capable of being attributed. Attributional, yes. Yeah. Oh, this is stuff that I don't know whether I've ever done this. Certainly find this a bit strange. Okay, so we've got attribution, attribute, and attributive. Refinement.
To refine.
Yeah.
Is the verb. And as before, I was thinking, or refined, past participle, or what about refinal? I don't know.
I wrote refine.
Refined. Yeah, refined, I think.
With ed at the end.
Yeah, no? Yeah. It's the participle.
Okay.
So that'll be fine. Okay. Superiority.
Superior.
Yeah, this one I think.
The adjective.
Fairly straightforward. Yeah. Okay. What about
distinction? To distinct.
Distinguish.
Distinguish. Okay, distinguish.
Adjective.
Distinctive.
Yep, distinctive, and so the adverb form is obviously distinctively.
Distinctively.
Yeah. Yeah, these are not so easy sometimes. Okay. Right. So let's just have a look.
But you can easily find this sort of exercise during a C1 exam.
Yeah.
I remembered something like that.
Yeah.
One of the 5 steps of the exam.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they were. Yeah, they do come up. They do come up.
And that's why I told you before. At the end, I was,
Yeah, you were
without any energy because they were too difficult. You have to think a lot, and you spend really a lot of energies about with your brain, how to match everything, or a close exercise, the listening part, and you have your anxiety.
Yeah, because there are also those exercises where you're given the root and then you have to put the right form of the word in the exercise. They're sort of related to this, but they can be really quite tricky. So, okay, yeah, that's good. So, well, in the end, there were three of us. Martha never says anything, so she's okay. Hello, Martha.
Hello, Gordon.
I didn't ask you to join in simply because I know that you don't usually like to.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, so I think next time we've got another 2 sessions. So we've got session next week and then the week after. Okay, so but the week after it will be on Wednesday, not on the Thursday, because Thursday is a holiday. Because it's the 2nd of June. Okay, so I'm going to